The Kogi State Government says it has uncovered a disturbing internal network of collaborators aiding kidnapping gangs in parts of the state, especially within the Western Senatorial District. This follows a series of targeted security operations in Kabba, Bunu, Ijumu, Yagba East and Yagba West local government areas, launched in response to recent incidents of insecurity. Among the cases that triggered the crackdown was the kidnap and death of a retired army officer from Odo-Ape and the abduction of a farmer in Ponyan, Yagba East. Investigations revealed several locals, including traders, fuel station operators, and even wood contractors, were actively supplying food, fuel, and information to kidnappers hiding in nearby forests. Governor Ahmed Ododo has vowed that anyone found aiding criminal activities, regardless of status, will face prosecution. Now, to speak more on the current security situation and efforts to combat insecurity in Kogi State, I have joining me now Commissioner for Information and Communication, Kingsley Fanwo. Mr. Kingsley Fanwo, you are welcome. Thank you very much for joining us this afternoon. Now, Mr. Fanwo.
Thank you very much for having me.
You're welcome. Good. Mr. Fanwo, can you give us an overview of the current security situation in Kogi State, especially in the Western Senatorial District?
Thank you very much. You know, over the past few months, we've witnessed some very disturbing flashes and breaches to the security of lives and property in specific areas in some parts of Kogi West, covering Kabba local government area, Ijumu local government area, Yagba East local government area, and Yagba West local government area. And the chief servant of the state, His Excellency Ahmed Ododo, has ordered and directed security agencies through a joint security task force to deal with the situation and crack down on those criminal gangs and those criminal elements in those local government areas has unraveled a lot of discoveries in the past few weeks.
Now, the state recently uncovered a network of local collaborators aiding kidnapping. How exactly was this uncovered? Were there any special forces sent out or any unique status that we should know about?
Yeah, it is part of the security architecture of the state. We have a crack team of a joint task force including the police, army, DSS operatives, civil defenders, and also local security architecture of the state, which also includes the vigilante service as well as the local hunters. And they were able to uncover a network of internal collaborators that are aiding the activities of these criminals. It started with the kidnapping of the retired major who was kidnapped from Odo-Ape, Bunu local government area. And, you know, when some of the perpetrators were apprehended, it got exposed that one of the youths who reside in that community was one of the people that gave them information leading to the nefarious activities of the kidnappers. And then before the suspected informant would be arrested, he was said to have committed suicide. This is a theory that as a government we would not believe. What we believe was that because it is a ring, the other members of the ring might have decided to assassinate him to cover up their activities. But we are still investigating to ensure that more and more are being uncovered. The recent one was about the kidnapping that happened at Aitorukiri in Kabba local government area, where some people were abducted, and despite all the efforts of the state government, were kept for 3 months. And then, after they were rescued from the kidnappers, it became a government.
Mr. Fanwo, I'm hoping that you're still there with us. We're experiencing a bit of difficulty hearing you. We seem to have some technical difficulty here with the connection with Mr. Fanwo. We'll try and make sure that we re-establish connection with him so we can continue that very interesting conversation. Mr. Fanwo, one more time, are you here with us?
I can hear you clearly.
Now, very good. Now, we missed out on a couple of the things you were saying from before. If you could go back a few steps.
Okay, I was saying that from the kidnapping of the retired Major at Odo-Ape, we're able to establish the fact that there were some informants there. One of them was said to have committed suicide. And we said that as a government, we did not and do not still believe that theory. We believe that being a ring, some other members of the ring might have assassinated him to cover up their own nefarious activities. And then the recent one was the kidnapping of some people at Ayetorokiri after strenuous efforts by security agencies to arrest them. They were rescued after 3 months in captivity, and then it became clear that someone from that community was the one that sold them out. His name is Babatunde Aledare. He was the one that gave the kidnappers all the information as to how they will be able to kidnap those people. And he is an indigene of the same Ayetorokiri in Kabba local government area. He has been arrested. He's given very useful information to the security agencies. From my report this morning, he has made confessional statements. He's already leading the team to arresting more people that are involved in that ring. Now, what we have established is the fact that the logistics supply to these kidnappers has continued to be oiled by the locals. That is the major problem we're having, and that is the reason the efforts of the statement seems to not paying off in those local government areas. For instance, some bread sellers in Kabba local government area are known for packing a lot of bread and send to the forest to these kidnappers. We also established the fact that some pure water factories are supplying these kidnappers directly. And also some fuel stations are also putting fuel jerry cans, running to 100 jerry cans at once and taken to the forest to be able to power the activities of these kidnappers. And that is why, as a government, we have come out clearly to say that we are going to treat those who fuel kidnapping like kidnappers. And they are going to be arrested and prosecuted. The bread sellers that are supplying them, the wood contractors that are conniving with them and getting the assurance of protecting their wood business, and also the water factories that are supplying them water, and all the fuel stations that are supplying them fuel will be shut down, and the owners of fuel stations will be prosecuted. These are some of the things that we are doing to cut off the logistics, because the crackdown on them is very serious. You know, we thank Mr. President, the National Security Advisor, the DGDSS, and all the heads of our security architecture, including the local security architecture, for all they are doing. What they are doing will be able to materialize effectively only when we can cut supplies to these kidnappers, and that we will deal with as a government.
Mr. Fanwo, let's ask about the operations of these kidnappers before some of them were apprehended. What areas do they target exactly? Are these high commuter areas, or maybe specific individuals in communities?
From their modus operandi, it will be very clear. It's very clear that they are targeting people within certain communities. They have what you call a soft target. So the informants will give them information about the person and about the person's wealth. That will happen in so give them information about the activities on his farm and what the man will be able to offer. That was why they went after that particular man and ensure that he was kidnapped. But we have been able to rescue him. He's back to his family. But we are having a total crackdown on our people, our own people, that are serving as informants to these criminals.
All right, sir. Finally, Mr. Fanwo, beyond arrests, what long-term strategies is being put in place by the state to prevent any resurgence of insecurity and protect the valuables of the community?
From the figures that we have, we've recorded significant improvement in the last few months. You know, when you talk about security, you cannot be talking too much about statistics, because the life of everyone, the life of one is as important as the life of 100. That is the way our citizens in Kogi State are regarded. Now, the point is that as a government, we have been able to put in place a community-based first-line defense strategy that will be able to resist this kind of attack before the conventional security agencies will be able to zero in to take charge. But, you know, that is what we are trying to do at the moment, and it is already paying off. What we need to do to be able to have total victory is to disconnect the local collaborators from them, which is what we are doing at the moment. If they are not getting food, if they are not getting water, if they are not getting fuel, they'll find it very, very difficult to operate.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Kingsley Fanwo, for being with us here to give us the details about this arrest. Thank you, sir.